Hi, it's Alaska Granny. Let's look at the food supply chain and see if you hear mixed messages. The USDA says, will there be food shortages? Will we have access to food? There are currently no nationwide shortages of food, although in some cases the inventory of certain foods at your grocery store might be temporarily low before stores can restock. Food production and manufacturing are widely dispersed throughout the U.S., and there are currently no widespread disruptions reported in the supply chain. They're closely monitoring the supply chain for any shortages. Well, then if we look in other countries and hear what the World Health Organization is saying, many countries are facing growing levels of acute food insecurity, reversing years of developing gains. Even before COVID-19 reduced incomes and disrupted supply chains, chronic and acute hunger were on the rise due to various factors including conflict, socioeconomic conditions, natural hazards, climate change, and pests. COVID-19 impacts led to severe and widespread increases in global food insecurity, affecting vulnerable households in almost every country, with impacts expected to continue into 2022 and possibly beyond. Now think about it. The U.S. is saying there's no supply chain interruptions, but the World Bank and the World Health Organization are telling you there are reduced incomes, disrupted supply chains, chronic and acute hunger for all kinds of reasons even before COVID-19, which has now led to severe and widespread increases in global food insecurity. So they're telling you there's no problem with the supply chain, but then if you read, there is food insecurity because the supply chain are bringing you what little food there is. The agricultural commodity price index stabilized in the third quarter of 2021, but remains 17% higher than its January 2021 level. Maize and wheat prices are 11 and 21% higher respectively than their January 2021 levels, and rice prices are about 21% lower. The primary risks to food security, which is what really matters, not so much the supply chain, but your ability to get the food and have food security, they're at a country level. Higher retail prices combined with reduced incomes mean more and more households are having to cut down on the quantity and quality of their food consumption. Numerous countries are experiencing high food price inflation at the retail level, reflecting labor shortages, a sharp rise in the price of fertilizer, currency devaluations, and other factors. Rising food prices have a greater impact on people in low and middle income countries. They spend a larger share of their income on food than people in high income countries. The question really should not be, are there supply chain interruptions? Are there food shortages is what the real question is. The World Bank in 72 countries show a significant number of people running out of food or reducing their consumption. Reduced calorie intake and compromised nutrition threaten gains in poverty reduction and health and could have lasting impacts. COVID-19 is estimated to have dramatically increased the number of people facing acute food insecurity in 2020 and 2021. It's estimated that 272 million are at risk of becoming acutely food insecure in the countries where it operates. Acute food insecurity is defined as when a person's life or livelihood is in immediate danger because of lack of food. Hunger was trending upward even before COVID-19 pandemic, which exacerbated existing effects from extreme climate events, conflict, and other shocks to economic opportunity. Do you see how it's not about supply chains? That's just one cog in the wheel. At a country level, the World Bank Group is working with governments and international partners to closely monitor domestic food and agricultural supply chains. Track how the loss of employment and income is impacting people's ability to buy food, and ensure that food systems continue to function despite COVID-19 challenges. The IDA has provided $5.3 billion in new commitments between April and September of 2020 for food security. This has been through a combination of short-term COVID-19 responses and investments to address the long-term drivers of food insecurity. $5.3 billion, that was just for April, May, June, July, August, September. What happened? Did they stop providing it? Are they still providing it? Because we certainly know that these problems have not been resolved. You need to make sure that you protect your family's ability to have food. Food security. This isn't about supply chains. This is about food security. Load up your pantry with shelf-stable foods. Stock up on the longest-lasting foods like rice, beans, oatmeal, pasta. Seal them up the best that you can. We can see this is a worldwide problem, and while they're deflecting away from it in the United States by saying there are no supply chain issues, we are fully aware there is less food, food costs more, and food insecurity is going to be a crisis all over the world going forward. So stock up while things are still readily available and you have the opportunity to secure your family's future no matter what it holds. If you enjoyed my video, please share it with someone else you think might like it. Please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.